Ready. 14 stress-free ways to kick weight loss in the butt. So many people put all this pressure on themselves to lose weight really fast, and then they end up not losing weight anyway, and gaining weight, and going through this whole self-flagellation like, oh, it's been 2 years, and I haven't lost any weight, and I'm such a loser, and I'm so terrible. Well, let's go back to this quote. If you're sick of starting over, stop quitting. Just start doing it. Take gradual weight loss. As Miss Piggy says, never eat more than you can lift. If you're going to your table with your plate and it's like you're flexing your muscles, that's a little bit too much. Focus on gradual weight loss and sustainable habits. I can limit myself to 2.5 bottles of fat-free creamer a week. That's sustainable. I can do it. Focus on nutrition. And 7 days is a long time.
Are they quarts?
They're those little, you ever see those? Hey, I've lost 170 pounds and kept it off. Don't judge me for my fat. Don't judge me. Yes, I've opened my kimono and you've seen my sins. Yes, fat-free creamer was one of them. And yes, they're big suckers. And I was drinking 5 a week, but I've cut them down. I know. And wait till I get to 170, and I'll thank my lucky stars for this day. Also, I'm reeling you in, and next week I'm going to make somebody else talk about their big, terrible faux pas. Also, 30 minutes of exercise can burn less than a medium McDonald's fries. So here's a way of getting 30 minutes of exercise. Don't eat the fries. So you don't eat the fries, and you go, wow, I just exercised for 30 minutes. Woo! I love that. I love that. You're not eating something. You're going, I could have pizza or I could exercise. I think I'll have a salad. See? Mind games. Beware of your hunger. So many people are like, I'm afraid of getting hungry. Well, if you're afraid of blood sugar or this or that, yeah. But if you're a strapping person and you get a little gurgle and you're afraid of it, what? Do you think it's the depression? Do you think that you're not going to get a meal in 5 minutes if you went to the kitchen? Why are you afraid of it? Because I love that little rumble, rumble, rumble. Because I feel like maybe I'm, doing the right things. Drinking water. That's another thing. I worked at a job for 2 years where you had to punch in and out to go to the bathroom, and you had 10 minutes a day to go to the bathroom. So I think I thought I was drinking enough water. I was playing a little water games with myself. And now in the morning, I set out 4 16-ounce bottles of water, which is what? 64 ounces. And I make sure I drink them all. And it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. Eat when you're hungry, not famished. Here's how you get famished. You don't have breakfast, you don't have lunch, it's dinner, and you're famished. If you're having healthy 3 meals a day and you're not living your life for food and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and not beating yourself up because you're fat, you're not going to get as famished. Now, if you run 20 miles and you're famished, I say eat whatever you want. You ran 20 miles. But most of the people in the group that are saying they're famished are going from the easy boy out to the kitchen. You're not running a marathon here. And learn to take first and say, there will be, remember my saying when I had this one turkey goulash and it was so good that I was thinking of my seconds, and I turned to Bob and said, there will be turkey goulash tomorrow. And there was. I went to the refrigerator and it was there. Because there always is going to be more. Be mindful of what we're doing. And here's what I think, the old bad habits. We start this session, this is what we're going to do. Now remember when I said it was mandatory that everyone had to wear their name tags? I want a show of hand, who has their name tag on tonight? Better yet, who does not have their name tag? But didn't I say it was mandatory? That's interesting. Remember when I said it's very good to have water with us at all times? Who has water with them right now? Pretty good. Let's see who doesn't. All right.
That's the first time I heard
All right, now, the habits we get into are the habits that we live with. If it's our habit to have a bagel with cream cheese and a honker bagel, or a family Friday night pizza, and we break those habits. You can have a holiday. Like, we're doing great. We've kicked it up. We get an invitation for a Halloween party today, and it's going to be a really fun one. So we're going to take a little evening holiday. But when you're on a 7-day week and your holidays are 6.5 of those days, that's where you get into trouble, okay? And you gotta log. Some of the logs, they just plain, what can I say, suck. There's no other better way. It's like you're like you're not even looking. All right, I'm just gonna say that. It's like you're not even looking. And one time I had a session where I said, it looks like you're filling them out in the car on the way here, and one person said, I was trying to drive, I was filling out my log. You eat something, you write it down. Now other people, they're beautiful. They're like, you know, I had a tablespoon of vinaigrette with some this and that. They're perfect. And guess what? It's interesting. With maybe 1 or 2 exceptions, and you know who you are, who have sucky logs and you've lost all the weight and kept it off. You don't have to raise your hand. The exception of a few people, the ones who have the most beautiful logs are the ones who are losing the weight and keeping it off. With the exception of a couple. Okay. Be accountable. This is interesting. One person, they couldn't lose weight, and they had all these desserts. So they had all these desserts, and every week I'm like, well, maybe if you cut out the desserts, you know, 5 cookies, 6 cookies, cake, pie. I go, maybe if you cut out the dessert. So the next week they come in, after I had bugged them about it, and there was no desserts. So I said, oh my gosh, you didn't have any desserts. And then remember where we are, church. And remember that we're all Catholic. And remember that most of us have some sort of Irish Catholic, Italian Catholic, Polish Catholic guilt. So this is great. Let's go back to what I said. Oh my gosh, you didn't have any desserts. Frozen. No one said anything for an interminable amount of time, and then this person said this. Well, none to speak of. None to speak of. What does that mean? What does that mean? Either you had dessert or you didn't have dessert. None to speak of. That'd be like saying, you know, going to confess me, Father, you know, I have no sins. No sins? Well, none to speak of. What did you have? All right, so when you're logging, I want the things you can speak of, the ones that you've done, okay? And I love this one, 3-bite rule. You have to have a few bites. If you want something, taste it. You had a little taste. Allow yourself, again, not 6.5 days out of the week, but maybe once a week, allow yourself. And be like, don't be like, I was bad. I hate that phrase, I was bad. God bless you. We're going to stop there, Bob, and then I'm going to talk about